Hey everyone, it's Libby from Meister Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Warramai First Nations people, the traditional custodians of the land on which these videos are made, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides, and the universal energies. Yes, back from grandma duties. Oh boy, at my age it's lovely to form a bond with them, but it's just as lovely after 2 or 3 hours to hand them back. Okay, entertainment only, and in case you're wanting a bit of spot cam, there he is on the floor, on his rug under the desk there. Gotta love myself, so a little bit of spot cam. Okay, what am I going to look at? I said I'd be back with a little bit of a long and tricky one. So where on earth does one start with this? So bear with me while I go through the explanation. If I was half technical, because I'm purely using camera mode on my laptop, so I have no idea how to share anything, and I don't even know if I can. But what I want to have a look at is one of my beautiful viewers sent me some information on this. It took me a while to get my head around it, and I do apologize if my explanation is a little bit tricky as well, because it might take a little bit of time to get your head around it as well. So where do I start? So the NASDAQ-based company called Above Food Ingredients, and if I Google over here and have a look at it, Above Food Ingredients, abovefood.com, is basically a vertically integrated seed-to-fork blockchain following ingredient company, bringing innovative supply chains, differentiated agreements and consumer products to market. They are also, it is a plant-based supply chain. They have what they call, this is from their website, a world-class breeding program, and what they're doing is scaling global distribution. It's all, if I say it's weaselly words, it's sort of PR words here, but basically delivering solutions to global ingredients with traceability, sustainability, and nutrient density. Okay, interesting. Right, so we've got Above Food Ingredients. The next company I want to just let you know about is a company called Palm Global. Now, palmglobal.ai, I believe it is based in the Middle East, possibly. I'm just trying to think, is it Abu Dhabi, I believe, the UAE? Now, who are Palm Global? Palm Global Tech is a pioneering next-generation digital financial services technology platform revolutionizing access to global finance through blockchain solutions. So blockchain is about traceability from here to here to here to here. It's just basically being able to leave a trail to find, to be able to follow back to a source. Okay, what do these two companies do with each other? They are merging. Okay, interestingly enough, not quite sure what a food company has to do with a digital financial company, but they are merging, and it is all about the technology blockchain solutions. Okay, what do we have then? A subsidiary of Palm Global is called Palm Promax Investments, which is leveraging into stable coin technology. Okay, if you've heard about stable coin, it's like, crypto, Bitcoin, etc., but I think it's actually based on, not based on anything particularly solid, but I believe it does have some sort of financial backing. I don't really understand Bitcoin, stablecoin, and crypto, but that's for you guys to research and find out for yourself. Now, where do I go with this? There's a couple of things here. So we've gone Above Food Ingredients, merging with Palm Global Tech. Underneath is Palm Promax Investments, that is investing in stablecoin technology. Now, Palm Promax Investments has gone into an agreement with a company called Burkina Faso. When I first read that, I thought Burkina Faso was a name, but it's not. It's a landlocked country in Western Africa that has rare earth and gold. So what's happening is these two companies merging. One of their investment companies is investing in a landlocked African country, which historically really doesn't, it has been quite a poor country. It sits under uh, um, Malawi, or anyhow, that part of the world. Google it on Google Maps and you'll see where it is. It's in that very poverty-stricken area of Africa due to colonization. Okay, where do I go with this? 8 trillion with a T. So Palm Promax investment that comes in under above these two merging companies is gone into an agreement with Burkina Faso for $8 trillion to source in exchange for sourcing the rare earth minerals and gold. Okay, so it's below Mali, M-A-L-I, bordering Niger. Now, this is why I said earlier, I wonder if the orange twerp, when he tells on himself, because he always tells on himself, and he was talking about sending boots on the ground into Nigeria, I think wonder if he was talking about Niger, N-I-G-E-R. Very similar, but completely different countries. Niger is also a landlocked country bordering Nigeria. Okay, so where do I go with this? Well, interestingly enough, if we go back up to the top there, above food ingredients, it's merging with this Palm Global Tech, has also received a $20 million investment from a company called Aqua One Foundation. Now, Aqua One Foundation is also not a, but the major investor in a company called World Finance Liberty. Now, who's World Finance Liberty? Wouldn't happen to be Sniffy Jr. and Eric. Okay. Right, so there's a connection there off to the side. You've got these two companies, there's a connection off to the side. Big investment off to the side into Sniffy Jr.'s, the twerp's global empire company, and this blockchain leading down to a company that borders Niger. Right, where are we going with this? I have absolutely no idea. Now, as I was researching this, it's just really caught my attention as there's this intertwining of this setting up of this new world order. I'm not saying there's anything bad about Above Food Ingredients or anything bad about Palm Global Tech, but this is these conglomerates coming together to set up this new global order. And with stablecoin technology, it's setting up the currency format of this new global order. Now, what I was getting, and I may be completely off track, I'll throw some cards on it and have a look, that Above Food is an agriculture and food technology company that uses blockchain for plant, protein and seed development. So therefore, like Monsanto back in the day had the full rights over the seed that the farmers would plant, the genetically engineered seed that the farmers would plant that you couldn't keep from season to season because they were sterile, as in couldn't have little baby seeds. So therefore you have to go back to the source parent for the seed. It's got that feels about it with the seed development that Above Foods, Above Food Ingredients is setting itself up as the seed bank for the global food production, and where you would have to actually be forced, farmers would be forced to purchase off them. So I'll have a look at that first up. I'm just going to use, nice and simple, the Smith-Waite Tarot deck, and we'll get that bit out of the way. I could be completely wrong, entertainment only. It's just, again, it's nothing we can really do anything about, but it is something that we need to be aware of. Okay, let's have a look. So let's get this out of the way. Above food ingredients, it is using blockchain to develop plant proteins and seed developments. The claim is, the disclaimer is, together with Palm AI, Palm Global Tech, the blockchain. With Palm AI and global and blockchain, they will break global hunger. Okay, I don't know quite that they're that humanitarian. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, yeah, no. No, they're not that humanitarian because 3 cards popped out. This is about gathering all the swords up, owning all the swords, owning all the tech, um, the abuse of owning it all, making out like a bandit, owning all the tech and nipping off with it, and holding to ransom. And then we've got the 8 of coins. It's about rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. What this is about is it's about having to use above food ingredients to purchase every year or every season the seed that is required. It's not all completely above board. We've got the Tower, we've got the Magician, we've got the Talking to the Fish in the Cup, we've got the World Stage, we've got the Devil. 4 major arcana. So this is about destruction and manipulation. Hate to say it. Entertainment only, just throwing some cards on a table here, or actually on a towel of all things. Not being completely honest with their intentions with that Page of Cups. And then we've got global domination, pretty much. Global domination and legally tying up those that are wanting to produce abundance for all. And then I've got the, the 7 of Pentacles, the inability to harvest, the harvest failing in regards to producing abundance for all. Yeah, and then we've got the 4 of Pentacles, which is very much about it's mine, what's yours is mine, and what's mine is mine as well. But we then do have the big yes, the sword of truth coming together. And then we've got the Ace of Wands as well. New plans, new messaging, sharing, holding on to, I'm just getting holding on to original seed. Yeah. Juggling finances at the moment, investing overseas, trying to spin, and the plan is they have the globe in their sights is the plan, and it's in planning stage. And again, big yes card with the Ace of Pentacles there, and the Pentacles are very much about earth, the earth sign. So yeah, my cards are telling me absolutely that's the intention, despite how glossy and slick the website appears. So what do we, okay, now my next question, I'll use the same deck, just giving them a bit of a good poker shuffle and the clean. Yes, I do clean my decks for those that asked. If a reading doesn't come to fruition immediately, just let it sit for a while, because usually it takes days, weeks, months, and sometimes even years for readings to play out. And then you guys, my beautiful viewers, come back and email me and say, oh my goodness, you said that 2 years ago. And it's like, yeah, yep. Okay, let's have a look. So, what was I going to look at next? Niger. Okay. As I was looking at Niger, 4 of Swords, I don't actually like this. They might find themselves being, if I say played, I don't mean this derogatory at all. They might find themselves on the wrong end of this agreement. They saw the $8 trillion offer, and this might end up, well, justice, actions having consequences, but something about this might end up in the International Criminal Court. Oh, the deal's not with Niger, the deal's with Burkina Faso. So what am I? Okay, Niger. Okay, backtrack, backpedal, rewind. I asked about my feels about Niger. Did he mean Niger instead of Nigeria when he blabbed? So we've got Niger here. Okay, let's backpedal. Well, Burkina Faso might find itself in an interesting proposition as well. But okay, Niger. We've got here forced to retreat in the face of technology. Could be a financial offer, but actions will have consequences. There's just something that just feels okay. Let's have a proper look at that now that I've got my brain in straight. Let's have a look. Was the orange twerp meaning Niger instead of Nigeria? I mean, Nigeria, does also have rare earth, but a big plus for Nigeria is it's on the coast. It's not landlocked. It doesn't have to pass through any other country to get access, and it's pretty much in control of its. This is Nigeria, pretty much in control of exports and imports. Niger, did the orange twerp mean Niger? Going into Niger, given this Burkina Faso $8 trillion deal for rare earths with these two merging companies and their subsidiary, that also has very strong ties with, yep, and they're happy to let it stay as Nigeria because they don't want to actually let it out of the bag. Okay, and what else? Charging in, taking by force perhaps. Something being brought to an end here, maybe overthrowing the government. There may have been an offer because we've got planning and dark money behind the scenes, but we do have the Star of Hope and Healing. But we've got, again, at the bottom, these three cards. Different order, same three cards. Oh, 4 cards. Right. Yes, confusion. Tower moment. Planning about something overseas. And I think it's to do with the mining of the rare earth materials. Okay, so I do wonder if Niger was made an offer, and I have no information about Niger itself. It just, when I was looking up Burkina Faso, it leapt out at me, almost like it was glowing on the screen as a country right next door. Okay, because we've got circles of support and strength here for Niger. It might be in discussions with somebody else that is not associated with the orange twerp. What do we need to know? Is that the case? Is that the case? Is Niger, and we've got some sort of announcement from the White House, and we've got the ending here, significant ending, new beginning. I mean, it may even be that the announcement from the White House is the orange twerp. I did a reading earlier today on the AI, and oh my goodness, AI hand over fist everywhere in regards to the orange twerp. Some sort of announcement from the White House that is going to change everything. Okay, with the Wheel of Fortune. I don't think he's long for this planet. I think he's in a skin suit at the moment and is Spirit is already checked out, but Niger, what do we need to know about the orange twerp and Niger and all this blockchain, stable coin, whatever else we need to know? Now, this is also very much why these upper echelons of oligarchs are backing fossil fuels, because blockchain, I don't know why, I don't understand why, but obviously blockchain and AI, etc., use enormous amounts of electricity. I'm assuming it's to run the computers and run the cooling systems, more so for the computers. Personally, I'm still stuck in the World Wide Web option where just having a normal home computer is enough. Uses enormous amounts of electricity. And what's happening at the moment is the general consumer, me and thee, are subsidising the electricity of these huge users. You and I, if we put solar panels on our roof or a little wind turbine in our backyard and had a battery in a car, electric car, and the house was all electric, etc., once we worked out how to coordinate and store the power, we could go off grid, which means we no longer subsidise the big consumers of energy. They would actually have to create their own sources at their expense, but also we wouldn't be, basically we're not subsidising it. That's okay. They've just said, there's no more to that. That's why they like the fossils, because the fossil fuels produce a big solid base load power that, because it's a huge grid, there's no sort of accountability as to where it goes. The cost is just the cost is just the cost. Okay, right. So what I wanted to ask, where was I? Let me backtrack again. Again, it's getting my head around this. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so let me have a look. What do we need to know about the connections between? Okay, was Niger approached for their rare earths and refused? I think the government of Niger refused the offer of the gift, and I think the government refused. So let's have a look. Let's have a look. What do we need to know? Because they know their worth. They know the worth of this, and that's peeking out at me. Yes. They know the worth of what they've got, and they are not prepared to be taken for a ride in regards to their resources. Because 8 trillion sounds like an enormous lot. I mean, but when the Fleon gets $1 trillion bonus package, I mean, he's got these crazy targets he's got to meet, and do not be surprised if money pours into Tesla to prop the price up to get him to reach the target. 8 trillion doesn't actually sound that much for an entire country. So let's have a look, especially if it's sort of an 8 trillion as a one-off deal and not something ongoing. So Niger, what did it do? What was the deal made to Niger that I feel got rejected, which is why there was this threat to attack Nigeria? Wrong country. Come on down, let's have a look. Okay, oh boy. Okay, the Page of Wands. Some sort of announcement was made, some sort of plan in development. I think there's a plan in development here where the Niger, the government of Niger, the people of Niger have the talking stick. They have the Ace of Wands in their hands. The power of their future, their destiny is in their hands, and I think they know their worth. yeah, the challenge is the Emperor trying to ride roughshod over them. And it's not necessarily the orange twerp, although this is my orange twerp card. I think this is those that are after world domination type situations. My way or the highway, trying to grasp control. So that's their challenge, is this Emperor energy. The Emperor trying to dictate the terms, Niger standing firm. They know their worth. Okay, at the foundation, we've got the military, the energy that it's stewing in, the threat of sending in the military. This is the here and now, the threat of sending in the military. I just got, oh wow, okay. I just got that Niger was made an offer by the World Finance Liberty and they knocked it back. This is interesting, okay. Oh, because it's so interconnected. But what I'm getting is they tried to rip off like the offer. I'm getting hundreds of millions, whereas Burkina Faso is 8 trillion, and I still think 8 trillion is probably undervalued. But anyhow, if it helps them move forward in their own destiny, good. Yeah, I'm getting that they knock back an offer from. Okay, let's see where this goes. Yeah, they knock back an offer. Yeah. Yeah, Niger knocked back an offer. It was not enough. They know their worth. They were offered, 2 out of the 5 of, 2/5 of what they know the worth is. Okay, see where this goes. Yep, okay. They're going to hold on to their resources. Again, they know their worth. 4 of Pentacles. They're going to hold on to their rare earth materials and gold because they know its worth. They're not going to give yeah, okay, fair enough. Right, the immediate future. The Hermit has been an isolated country for a long time in the global economic stage. I'm not talking isolated, you know what I mean. At the moment, they are considering the path forward and they are looking at the options, is what I'm getting from that. And then they will go into a part. Externally, they are looking at a partnership that is beneficial to them with the Ace of Cups. Ace of Swords. 2 aces for Niger. Good on them. Absolutely good on them. 2 aces, externally, internally. Yep. Hopes and fears. It is a new journey. They are not going to walk off a cliff. They are not going to sacrifice themselves for any old fly-by-nighter who doesn't pay his bills. And now that asbestos has been found in the demolition of the East Wing, he might decide just to decamp to Mar-a-Lago and call that the White House from now on in. A lot of us readers have been saying for a long time that he would base the seat of government at Mar-a-Lago, but we just didn't know how it would be brought about. Okay, but the Fool card in the hopes and fears. It is a fear. Don't want to step off the cliff and make a mistake, but it is also a hope. This is a new beginning for the country of Niger. The outcome. Yep, looking at all options across the global stage and considering all options. There might be, well, there's an announcement coming, some sort of partnership coming. This is my White House card, but there might be an announcement from the White House saying that they've done a deal, but I don't know if it's because you've got the walking away figures in the background here. I don't know that Niger is, walking away. So they're looking at all options. There may be some sort of announcement come from the White House in regards to this, but Niger itself is walking away. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune turning. We have the 2 of Pentacles weighing up the financial options. And then the King of Cups, a mature negotiator coming forward. I think Niger are going to be okay. I'm just looking at the next couple of cards that have me a little bit concerned. The attempt to bind them up and flatten them down is not going to work. It's going to end up in a tower moment. So, okay, yeah, I think he's got his countries muddled. I think he got his countries muddled because we know he blabs on himself. Okay. Was the offer made from World Finance Liberty? Now, World Finance Liberty, its major investor, is also heavily invested in Above Food Ingredients, which is merging with Palm Global Tech to create a blockchain stablecoin technology system using rare earths from the neighbour of Niger, Burkina Faso. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. No wonder my string boards are, yeah, there's the threat of the military because it got rejected. The offer was rejected, was halted, was unable to process forward, and therefore that's why there was the threat of the military going in. Okay, in regards to World Finance Liberty. Hokey dokey, where do I go with this? Well, tell me about. I've done Above Foods. They're aiming for control of the global food production. The combo is trying to. Oh, it's come out again. I don't think Above Food Ingredients, the merger is going to succeed. I think something's going to happen, and we've got the implosion here with Above Foods Ingredients. There's something where the top's going to be blown off, and we've got the collapse. It's almost like a lot of readers are warning about the collapse of the AI bubble and the tech bubble. Yeah, pretty much got vibes of, what was it, 1999 or thereabouts, when the internet tech bubble just blew up, and companies were valued at significant, had nothing but an idea, and were valued at, hundreds of millions, which was, the equivalent to hundreds of billions back in the day. And when the idea didn't pan out, the company was basically had nothing. It was sort of two guys working, drinking energy drinks, working in their spare room type thing. So yeah, I don't see it. I keep getting that tower card for Above Foods. Apparently their share price has gone up by hundreds of a percent. Was it 800%? Something along those lines with word of this merger. Word of this merger, but somebody might be walking away from the merger because we've got this again, this abuse of power, all the swords are mine, but it's also a self-sabotage card. Okay, where do we go with this? Will this merger blockchain? Okay, right. Burkina Faso, 8 trillion, the deal is being made. On the surface, looks a good deal, but how is this deal going to go? 8 trillion, they have been promised by Palm Promax Investments. So this is a subsidiary of the two merging companies, the blockchain and the blockchain tech companies. How is it going to play out for Burkina Faso? Come on down, let's have a look. It'll be a good indicator. So here's the agreement. It's an unbalanced agreement though. All the rewards on one side, not so many on the other. So I am concerned for Burkina Faso. On the face of it, it looks good, but yeah, I'm not too sure. Also remembering that in the mining and extraction of these rare earths, for example, for nickel, they use cyanide. Now, cyanide in the waterways isn't a real good combination. I know, I believe BHP and Rio Tinto Tinto, two really mega mining companies in the world, have had massive issues when they've had containment dams burst, especially with climate change, burst where they've been trying to contain the cyanide waste products from nickel extraction. So it might appear on the surface a great deal. I am concerned for Burkina Faso. The challenge is the loss. What is going to be lost in the process of gaining? And I think the country is going to lose more than it gains, is the challenge. There may be I'm feeling sort of strip mining and toxic waste is what I'm feeling. Got the river in the background here, river pollution, that sort of thing. It just really, really worries me. Okay, the energy that they're in, celebrating, because boy, oh boy, it seems like a good deal, was announced at the Abu Dhabi UAE 2030 conference, which was about tech, AI, blockchain, all those sorts of the big tech. The energy that they're in, they're celebrating this partnership, seems like a really good deal. In the past, yes, there was the agreement that was made, the Three of Cups, again, celebrating this partnership. All seems rosy and how it should be, but let's see where this goes. Again, coming together and happy families and celebration, but these celebration cards are all around these two loss cards. The unbalanced relationship, the contract, and the loss card. Does worry me. Right, the immediate future. It is the strength card, but it's also, if you have a look at this figure is trying to shut the lion's mouth, trying to placate the people and keep them quiet is what I'm getting there. What they end up with is not what they were expecting with that Page of Cups. Having a look at the deal and what they're actually receiving is not what they thought they signed up for, is what I'm getting, because the false knight internally, the false promises, the hopes and fears, military moving in, military takeover, or just chaotic movement forward and inability to move forward. Yin and yang, balance, lying down, refusing to move forward. Okay, the outcome, the Knight of Wands, volatile messaging, huge wake-up call. It's canary in the coal mine is what I heard, and they are not happy with what is actually being done. They're not happy with the outcome. Page of Swords, dark money behind, whistleblower, dark money behind the scenes, government, things being brought to an end, but just pretty much the world stage, looking different at this differently. And this is a sacrificial lamb card. I'm not saying that the Burkina Faso government was involved in behind the scenes planning in exchange for money. Okay, they were involved in behind the scenes planning in exchange for money. It doesn't mean there was any corruption. Smoke and mirrors, poor choices, inability to harvest, inability to grow. The money that is being made is just not available. But I think it's also going to affect the crops. It's going to affect the everyday people with that Page of Pentacles. And we've got the Fool and the hidden agenda with the High Priestess. And I think they're just going to be left holding the can with that Four of Pentacles. It just doesn't feel good. Back up against the wall, bruised and battered, while the wealthy get wealthier. There's a lot of news that's going to come, nightmarish news that's going to come out that's just going to expose. And then we've got the Page of Wands, some sort of an announcement about betrayal, heartbreak, loss, despair, and I think might be international court times as a certain side of the bargain's not kept, the manipulation on the back foot, having to try and defend themselves against the oligarchical money. Oh, just I really, 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 really hope I'm wrong. I hope that for Burkina Faso it works out, but I just really get the vibes of, you know, these current big mining companies that go into these poverty-stricken third world countries and just pollute the waterways and destroy the habitat, you know, the habitat. Just okay. Hope I'm wrong. Okay, is Niger? What? Tell me about the future of Niger. I think they're going to see. They're rejecting the offer because I don't think they're not the government of Niger. I have no idea who they are. I have no vested interest, haven't done any research. For all I know, they might be a military government or not. But I think they are looking a lot more carefully at the options available and what these options mean. They're not getting glossy-eyed over the dollar value. Okay, so show me Niger. Niger. Yeah, I think they see what is not written, the hidden agenda, and they've rejected. Okay. Did Niger reject an offer from World Finance Liberty? I think we answered that already, but let's have a look. Is this why the Orange Twerp threatened to send the military into Nigeria? I did on the day when I did that reading, I got Nicaragua as well, which is in Central America, not Africa. But I do think there's something important going to be happening there as well, just in the next couple of weeks. So keep an eye out for it. Did they reject an offer? I think they did. They know the value of their resource. They know that the resources that they've got is worth a heck of a lot more than what they were offered. You've got the Queen of Wands internally. They are not prepared to pimp themselves out and prostitute themselves. And we've got the secrets being revealed. There might be information come out about this. I wouldn't expect it from World Finance Liberty's accounts. I believe above food ingredients, is it, or was it Palmer Global Tech? One of those has employed a world-renowned accounting firm because they haven't produced their annual general report yet, and it's massively overdue. So there's something going on there as well. Okay. Will Niger make a better deal elsewhere? Will Niger? Okay, we've got the Four of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. Rejection. This isn't them. This is them rejecting. They're going to bide their time until the right offer comes along. So, what is the future of blockchain stable currency? I do know that we are heading for a new currency. Okay, so we've got above food ingredients merging with Palm Global Tech with one of their major, okay, they're looking at this closely. They're looking at creating, but the Ace of Cups, there's a lot of emotion worldwide about this blockchain stable coin. Now, I know that those that know how it operates, very comfortable with it apparently, but it's it's got the feels, this deal, of you know, when there's a new technology and the first ones in sort of create all the how do I put it? Create all the tech, but then they collapse in on themselves, and those that follow along learn from the tech. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think they're going to find themselves battered with their back up against the wall. Unbalanced relationships here. Some are going to make a lot of money out of it, but others are going to find themselves probably in some legal dire straits, but also impoverished due to manipulation that is revealed. It feels, yeah, and being exposed. We've got the magician, the moon, and the sun here. Something about this early and nightmare situation, legal nightmare situation. It feels like early tech. I mean, goodness me, who owns a Motorola nowadays? Yet Motorola were the ones that developed the real technology for the mobile phone, original mobile phones. Who owns an iPod nowadays when it's all moved to Spotify? Yeah, it just feels like these early investors. Yeah, it's with these early investors, the wheel of fortune is going to turn on them. They're hoping it turns in their favor, but I think it's going to turn the other way. What's the future of this? Okay, thank you. I just got it's the subsidiary Palm Promax Investments that's going to do the stablecoin tech with the blockchain technology from the two overlords, for want of a better way of putting it, so that they can be cut off and cast adrift, is what I'm getting. Okay, so tell me about the future of Palmer Promax Investment. Now, do not buy, sell shares on the basis of some waffly chick sitting in an office throwing some cards with a dog on a rug at her feet. If you feel that if you've done your research and you feel that this is the investment you should be in, I am not a financial advisor. I am not giving financial advice. And, you know, if you're an early investor and your shares went up, whatever percent, you might do well. Now, out of all that, they made me stop. The Fool, new journey, unexplored territory, hope and faith, however, heading for a cliff, perhaps not listening to the dog barking. So that's on the bottom there. What came off the top? This one turned over, and then these ones were after this turned over one. When I went to go and turn this back over, and they refused to actually let me have access to it until I dropped them out. I got those two top cards. I don't know what's underneath it. This is crossroads moment about technology. Absolutely. But this figure here is blindfolded. Blindfolded, sitting in front of the water. There's a lot of emotion in regards to this. In fact, there's a huge amount of emotion in regards to this. And it is a crossroads for technology. That's where this Palm Promax investment is at the moment. At this crossroads moment. However, Wheel of Fortune and the Moon card, the lunacy, the secrets being revealed, something along those lines. We the people coming together. So the King of Cups could be Fleon. I mean, Fleon is, you know, I'm not feeling it's Fleon. This is more about we the people, the voters coming together, moving on. This technology, it's going to move on from it. What we're going to end up with is not what this is my feels. because I think the technology is going to move on. There's going to be some sort of announcement made. And then we've got this card, the self-sabotage, abuse of power, betrayal, deceit, people walking away. I just feel, I mean, do your research. I could be completely off track. I just don't feel whatever the stablecoin tech is what is going to be. I think I did a reading forever ago on, I'm trying to remember what country it was. Was it El Salvador that created a Bitcoin city? Making out like a bandit with the tech. Did a reading on, can't remember where it was, that created a specific Bitcoin city and opened it for business and said, righto, all transactions in the city will be via Bitcoin and it's the way of the future. I gather that city is really, really struggling because technology's moved on from it. Gone from Bitcoin to the stablecoin tech. And my feels is that stablecoin tech isn't it either. Might be for a short term, but I don't think it's it. The Fool, the Wheel of Fortune, the moneyed oligarchs, unable to bring it home, just falling into chaos, and looking at Plan F, G, X, Y, Z. That's my feels. That is my feels. And I also feel there is new tech coming with AI Atlas. Yeah, false victory as they make off with this tech. Just feel it is not the. So tell me about the big yes. It's not the Hanged Man. The Sun card, the Hanged Man. Big yes. It is not the economic tech. It is not the monetary exchange tech with the Hanged Man. Got the be careful what you wish for with the Nine of Cups. You've got the manipulation. You've got the Fool's. I'm just going to call it the Fool's Gold. It's one of the meanings for this card for that Lena Rodriguez from Tarot Down Under taught me. Yeah, sitting pretty. The Magician could be manifestation, but it can also be manipulation, creating something out of nothing, and it turns out to be fool's gold. Okay. However, Palm Pro Max investments can be cut off. Right, let me just ask a bigger question. Okay, I'll just refresh this deck. A bigger question. These attempts at global domination, global industry domination. A lot of us have said for a while that those in the parasitic echelons will try and divvy up the world into communication, into transport, into AI, into, etc., and so forth, mining, energy production, etc. This attempt at global domination, will it succeed? I think that's a not with the Tower and the Temperance card. Alchemy, but it can also be about restoring balance, and the Tower. I think not. So this attempted global domination by these huge international conglomerate companies, isn't it something like 90% or some stupid figure of companies in the US are owned by like 8 corporations. Like when you link them all back, if you look back at Mars, they own just about everything. And Walmart just owns just about everything else. Okay, the illusion delusion, the poor choices, the smoke and mirrors, the attempt to tie up, the high priestess, the lover's card, the unbalanced contracts and agreements, the wealthy oligarchs, the hermit, the off the cliff, and out in the cold. And look what's peeking out there, the sun card. The sun card, and yeah, volatile information coming forward at the base. Yeah, I just don't think it's going to work. So, okay, rest assured, it's the attitude that these big, huge conglomerates are very much like, if a Walmart or in Australia, a Woolworths or something wants to move in, they will spend some time undermining price-wise to try and drive out all the little, mum and pop corner stores and the little independent stores. They will take a loss for a certain period of time to basically force the closure of any competition in the area. This is what this feels like they're going to attempt to do, but I don't think it's going to work. Okay, that was a hugely long reading, nearly an hour. I'm out of here. It's Friday. I've got my husband's car booked in for a service on Monday, which means I'll be hanging around doing some work in the food court, etc., of where I've got it booked in. So I may not be on Monday, which means if anything happens over the next 24, 48 hours, I'll pop on Sunday and then have Monday off instead. So it's Friday. I'm going to say adios, adieu, and see you later, and live long and prosper. And I will go and have a beer and catch you later. Take care. Bye-bye.